Magic, I know you had a few bumps and bruises going into the game, a few coming out of it. Where are you at? How are you looking for that?
I'm just trying to remember. Yeah, we're all right. So we've lost a couple, but we've had Jake Thewlis has been recalled to Warrington, so that's unfortunate for us. He's been great. Hopefully we can get that back going when he's fulfilled his commitments to Warrington there. But Joe Mellor's just struggling as well, so that'll be a late call on him.
Rowley, was it an ear infection?
Yeah, he had an ear infection. There's been a lot of it in camp. There's been about 4 or 5 lads, weirdly, with the ear infection coming off the back of virus, chest infections and stuff like that. So we've had a bit of a illness. I think a few years ago you might have called it COVID, but I think it's just an illness now. So, but yeah, they've been rough, the lads.
On to Magic back up at Newcastle. Are you in favour? What? Everyone's got different opinions on Magic, haven't they? Some think it should be wherever, drop a pin. Some think Newcastle spiritual home. What's your take on it?
I don't mind going to Newcastle. Obviously, if you was going to ask me my preferred option, then I would come to Manchester because I'm living in Manchester. But I think I enjoyed Magic at the Etihad. I thought that was really good. So that's my preference. But I certainly enjoy Newcastle and our visit to Newcastle.
You play Hull KR, obviously top of the league. They've got a Challenge Cup semi-final next week. Do you anticipate changes? Do you think they come in all guns blazing, full strength team?
Well, you tell me, Matt. You're the insider in the old news, so you tell me what's the team.
I have no idea.
You liar!
I would not do such a thing.
I think whatever team OKR put out, that they'll be very strong. They're not a team that generally goes from within the core squad. You saw that last week. Obviously, Batchelor playing on the edges there, and they trust the players that play week in week out. Obviously, Budgie's back from HIA, and I know Davis was touch and go last week, so he'll probably get in as well. So that's obviously makes them a lot stronger. So they're a great team. OKR. They've been building nicely over it as a club and as a team for the last few years. Obviously. They did it tough, and they had kind of a reset, and they've been going great. So, it's certainly a difficult game, and like I said before, whoever plays, and I expect them all to play, will be tough opposition.
When you were asked about Dion Cross after the game last week, he was obviously still a bit fresh, a bit new. I think everyone was still trying to get an understanding of what's actually gone on. A couple of days on from that, do you know any more about how that departure and the manner in which it played out came about? Is the club planning appeal? Where are we at with it now?
Yeah, I'm the same. So in terms of what I said after the match, well, I've moved on. All good feelings, and that's for the club. That's for Chris and the club to sort.
Are you under sustainability cap now?
Yes.
So does that mean is there enough space to bring Nene McDonald back when he returns, or is he still, would he take over?
I think our whole squad at the minute is working just over a million zero and something or another. So we've got, I think, 170 grand left in our cap space, allowance, if you like. The team that we fielded at the weekend would have been around 600-700 grand, I'm led to believe.
So Nenny could come back in. I know he's in Australia at the minute, for the birth of his. He's had
a baby, so mother and baby doing well. So that's the good news there. So but in essence, Nenny could come back in.
Have you got any time scales on when he'll be coming back? Or
we would expect Nenny to be returning early next week. So obviously they've only had the baby today, so we won't be badgering him too soon.
There's obviously been a lot of reports in the last 24 hours really about Sydney Roosters and the potential interest in the club. I appreciate it's an off-field matter. Just wondered what your take on it all was, really, because it's quite a unique story. I don't think we've really encountered this all too often before.
Well, it's certainly interesting. I had that article sent. As you know, Matt, I don't read too much, but I can't say I've not read that. I have, and some knowledgeable and well decorated people discussing it. On was it a news or a podcast, whatever it was. But so yeah, it's certainly very interesting, and I'm not aware of any detail, or I couldn't give you any insight into if there is any truth in that from our side. Again, I probably read it and just sit here with as much knowledge on that as you do, Matt. So, but you can't deny it's very interesting, and it's for me, whatever preserves the team, the club in its current guise, and for the supporters and for everybody, then I'm happy with any sort of positive interest.
How would you feel about it being renamed, rebranded? Was it Manchester Roosters was the brand that was thrown out, wasn't it?
Yeah, you're not getting me on that one, Matt. Not a cat in hell's chance. I think what I will say is that I'm a part of a team and a club that's very, very proud of its heritage and very, very proud of its name. And it would be, whilst wanting to adopt commercially Manchester, which is a very, very sensible business decision on a corporate level, us being not separated but connected by one river, we are like twin brothers, if you like. Then we want to adopt that, and you look at Sale Sharks, they're the rugby union team of the north. They're the northern team, if you like. So I know, as you know, Matt, in Toronto, the Raptors, we the north is the strapline. So we can be the north, that's for sure. I think adopting the north is fantastic. Adopting Manchester's fantastic, but we're very much cut through the middle, Salford. So I'm very, very proud of that. So to relinquish that would be I don't think that would go down very well at all.
I'm sure there's others who want to ask you about it, so I'll just ask you one more on something.
You can't ask me the same question though, lads. If I've answered it once, copy and paste. So.
Well, I was going to ask you about Toronto because you mentioned it. I saw Randy Ackers say last week that I think there's going to be some breakthrough with pay.
Okay. I think they've had some, Matt. I think they've had some. Yeah.
I don't know where you stood on all that in terms of waiting for wages, but that must be some positive news after all this time. It seems a lifetime ago, and it's still going.
Yeah, I mean, I'd moved on from then, so but I'm aware of players here who's been, it's been rolling on, and there's been a promise from David Argyle at the point that he was back in a position where he could, that he would, and fair play to David for upholding that, and he could have easily, I'm sure, disappeared into thin air and not upheld that commitment he had to everybody. But so fair play to him. Whilst it's been a tricky situation, most, if not all, of the players have moved on and got careers elsewhere. So it's it'll probably be at this time feel like a bonus to everybody. So it's good to hear.
Lovely. Cheers, Paul.
Thank you.
Hi Paul, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Just a quick one. I've seen reports this week on Chris Atkin. Can we expect to see him involved at the weekend and beyond at the club? What can you tell us?
What report did you see? And I'll tell you.
That he is linked with a move to Castleford Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, he's linked with a move to Castleford Tigers, that is correct. So I think that's still ongoing, mate.
Is he available for you at Magic Weekend?
No.
Perfect. And just picked up on what you said before about how OK are a club who had to do it tough. Do you feel as though there may be a blueprint for where Salford are looking to go once whatever's happening off the field gets sorted to, progress back to a level where OK are now?
Unbelievably, yeah. I think themselves, Lee. There's a lot of clubs. When you get relegated or you're down at the bottom, you either go down or up. So, but to go up's incredibly difficult, and you need finance. And I think probably the biggest change at OKR has been the financial situation, and off the field. They've really set. They've got a strong board and finance to back it as well. So that enables them to build an infrastructure at the club and invest in the on-field product. And obviously their support base was already there. And that's just going to grow and get better and better with the successes that they're having. So absolute respect for them as a club for fighting tooth and nail to get to what they've got. And like I said before, there's other clubs that kind of done the same thing.
And just on all this noise, as you mentioned before, this sort of Manchester Roosters story, how do you sort of protect yourself and the players from all this sort of speculation that's going on and make sure that they try focus as best they can on the task at hand on the pitch?
I'll be honest with you, it's not even got a mention and stuff like that. Generally, we laugh about stuff like that, fact and fiction. So we just stick to the facts, control the controllables, all the old narratives, and what everybody's been saying for about 150 years. So it's not a difficult task.
Finally, I just wanted to ask about your role. As before the season, we understood that you were going to move into sort of an upstairs position at the club at the end of this year. Is that still? Can we still expect that to be the case, even though what's going on with the ownership situation?
Yeah, I think from start to finish, nothing's changed on the football department in terms of being skinned of players, and but in terms of the infrastructure and the people that remain, then we're all been consistent really. So nothing's changed, or there's been no other instruction. But again, I think I've been consistent that I've been taking every day as it comes. So. What tomorrow looks like could be completely different. So but as it stands, nothing's changed in terms of where the playing and coaching group and all the staff, where our focus is and where our future lies.
Thanks very much for your time, Paul. Good luck at the weekend.
Cheers, thank you.
Hi, Rose. What you are?
Hiya, mate.
Just a quick one, really. With Jake Viewers being recalled, have Warrington sort of said whether that's just they need him for a week or 2 weeks or whatever? Have they told you that?
Yeah, I'm not sure of the dialogue there. So it was just a late one last night. But Warrington have been great with us, So and in a bittersweet moment for us as a coaching staff, we're really pleased for Jake that. He's put himself in a position to, be challenging for a spot in Warrington's team. That's his parent club, and we want him to be successful there. We've enjoyed having him here, and if he comes back, he'll be welcome with open arms. So, that'll be an ongoing thing, and determined, I guess, by their injury and form at their own club, and absolutely that's how it should be.
Where does it leave you in terms of, are you able to bring in another loanee?
That'll drop a loan off, so we could bring another loanee if we could and if we wanted. So, but I think the tough thing is, it's the nature of and the time, and it's so difficult to have 6 people in your team that haven't done a pre-season with you, and even the simplest of dialogue and vernacular that our team uses is totally alien to people coming from the outside in. So it's very difficult to have good communication throughout the team when, like I said before, the calls and all that are very different.
So in terms of sort of this weekend, then, does it look like a young lad coming in to fill Jake's spot? I know Jake's a young lad himself, but a youth product. Yeah,
I know Jake's only 19 himself, so I'm not sure yet. So we'll have a little look about that, and you've seen, like I said before, you saw Batchelor on the wing for OKR at the weekend, did a great job and finished off a wonderful try. So if we had any back rowers, maybe I could put one of them there, but we'll see. I think for us at the minute, it's kind of, I think today we had 19 people training. That's about as much as we'd had for a while. So training and getting actual quality practice is he's a bit of a rare commodity at the minute. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. Like I said.
Cheers, Paul. Catch you at the weekend.
Thanks, mate.
Hi, Paul. You all right?
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Is Tiaki Chan one of those training, or is he injured for a period of time or not?
No, Tiaki's good. He had a slight hamstring concern, but the week's been good to him, and he's fine.
That's good. And just on it being Magic, obviously, do you kind of feel that? I think a lot of the neutrals will probably sway towards you. So is it almost going to be not like a home game, but you're going to be favoured quite heavily by the fans? I think London got the same last year against Hull FC. So do you think that can make a difference or not?
I don't know. They'd have to be pretty noisy to outsing the OKR fans, because in my experience they're as good as you get. So I think we'll just we'll enjoy the support of our fans who'll be there, and if the neutrals can cheer us on, then obviously it'll be welcome. But I think if we're getting down to that point where that's given us a fine margin of a win, then I'll be happy. So our job's just, it's the same whatever happens, and whether we're playing an empty stadium or we're playing a stadium with 10,000 OKR fans and 0 Salford fans, our job remains the same. So it's a big task, but we're ready and committed to do it.
And just finally on your fans, how good were they against Leon? Obviously that game kind of looked like it was only going one way quite early on, but I think the cheer for your try, the Nicarima break and the Shorrock's try, I think that was probably the loudest. It's probably the loudest the stadium's been since you played Lee in the playoffs last year, actually.
Yeah. I say it every week. They've been great. They've been fantastic, and weirdly enjoying the chaos in a roundabout way. I think when you let yourself go and get lost in the moment and enjoy the small wins, whether that be a try or a good tackle, then there's a lot to enjoy about it as well. Obviously the journey's difficult, and if you overthink it, then you talk yourself into being a bit down. But I just think the positive mindset of the supporters and the players and the staff is contagious, and we're all very defiant, and like I said, we'll celebrate the small wins, and we might be a little bit crazy in how we go about that, but we're enjoying the support of our fans, that's for sure.
Yeah, I hope you get well on the weekend, and thanks very much for your time.
Thank you.
Hey mate.
Hi, mate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, but when you talk about defiance, does that mean you're determined to be in Super League next year, and in your mind you are?
Oh well, we've not even thought about that. Again, everything's a day at a time. So we're defiant when we go out on the training pitch. We're defiant when we turn up with a very under what's the word? Well, a team that's massive underdogs. Massively underdogs every week. So that's the defiance that we want to challenge ourselves individually to just be the best we can be, and not roll over when we've had excuses to roll over. So this team's never bowed to the obvious and convenient excuses that we could have, and that's the defiance that I'm talking about.
Do you talk to Chris about next year?
Absolutely not.
You don't? Was there some point where you will at the end of the season, or?
Well, again, every day as it comes, so I'm not even talking about end of season yet, so I'm talking about this week.
Do you think NRL Europe is a good idea?
I think a European competition is a good idea.
And with the NRL involved, or you don't have an opinion on that, or?
I'm a person who likes to see detail. That's where I am. I'm analytically minded. So to recklessly say one thing or the other, obviously the NRL is a wonderful organisation that has built an empire and a great sport. Different demographics and situation over in Australia, obviously. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I need the detail on it, but. Some input from other sources would be advantageous, I'm sure, and knowledge or money, whichever way it is. So, but you know, the game keeps striving for bigger and better, and whatever that looks like, then I support. So again, I need the detail before I commit.
I don't know if you read the story that was just gone up in the last hour about this whole Manchester Roosters thing, but I'll only ask you one thing about it, and it's different to the earlier question. Are there things you think they don't understand about the environment here? And if so, what is that? You know, based on what you've read. You know.
Well, I've not read. I've just come in off the training field, so I've not read anything, and I do not read a lot. I've seen the chat between Paul Gallen and a few of the other guys there. Like I said before, really experienced, well-respected people with a really solid opinion that people, and I certainly would value. Interesting that, you know, there were a bit of chat of they were trying to work out where Salford was and how close it was to Manchester. So straight away you've got to, you know, this is like surface level chat, and again, I'd need to know. I need more detail, you know, if you know, and unless you're involved in them chats, then I think them questions should be pointed at them people, maybe the RFL or the people running our sport, the power brokers, or, you know, our club as well. So I don't think they're for me. I think, like I said before, anything that is good for our game and grows the sport, then I'm all for it.